What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dollar Bets Live Fantasy Football Edition. I'm your host, James Rowe, along with my buddy, Kevin Davis. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
I am super ecstatic because it's going to be one of my favorite shows of the year. It's Fantasy Football Preview. We were 3 weeks from, opening, or 3 weeks or 4 weeks away from opening season. It's just a little taste of it, and then just everything that I look forward to every year once the calendar turns to July.
Oh no, it's amazing. It's honestly the best. Like I honestly can't wait. Like I know we're in the first week of preseason right now. We got games on. Everything's kicking off, but it's like we're finally getting back into that like regular mode. Like I always say it. Like these next coming months, it's like it almost feels like your weeks are like back to being normal, where it's like, all right, I got football Sunday, I got football Monday, I got my rest on Tuesday, I got my waivers on Wednesday. Then it's like, all right, we got another game on Thursday. Friday's here, got to get through that work day, and then bang, we got the weekend. Like, and they go by so fast those weeks too. So it's, but I love it. Fantasy football though. As much as I love the actual regular season and betting on it, though, fantasy, there's nothing competes with fantasy football. Nothing.
Yeah, and you're right, too, because I find myself – so this happens every year for me. So, like, I'm always like, yeah, going to get right back into it. Fantasy, here we go. Listen to the podcast, listen to this, listen to that, do my research. But it always takes me a week or two to finally get, like, in that mode. It's not that I don't love it, because I do, but it's just like what I used to do in November and December, which is like you said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It was just like you had a mapped out day, and you go on a break for 6 months, and then you just like you gotta install in your mind again and again and again. Like, no, this is how you did it. This is how you did it. And you're just like, oh, I don't want to do it, but like I have to do it. And then all of a sudden your mind will get back into the trick. So it takes me like 2 to 3 weeks to really get back fully into it. So I could say I'm ready on week 1. So I'm getting closer to week 2. Once I get to like week 3, like the real NFL stars, that's when I start like, okay, I'm pumping out content. I'm pumping out this. Like I'm ready to roll.
Yes. Yeah, because the first week, though, it's going to be kind of weird, too, because like, you got a game on Wednesday, then you got Thursday, then you got probably college football on Friday, then you got Saturday. So it's like you got like 6 straight days of football before it really gets into like the normal like Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. And in 100% of what you said is that, when you're in like, let's say October, November, you get that feeling of just like, okay, we are back to being on robot mode almost. Just football Monday, football Tuesday, football Wednesday, football Thursday, and one way or another, whether it be college or whether it be the NFL, it's always there.
Yeah, and then depending on how you're doing, like if you're having a great year and you're locked in and you're gearing up like, late October, early November, like, your fantasy team's clicking, your bets are hitting, or it could be the opposite. You're out of the playoffs already. Everybody on your fantasy team's hurt. You're not winning a bet to save your life, and you're like in the trenches going, man, this stinks. Like, then and on top of it, your actual team stinks. Like that's when
story of my life. Story of my life.
Jets fan. Yeah. I'm not a Jets fan, but Jets fan.
It's funny because I laugh all the time because I laugh all the time when like Jet fans are like, oh, well, you're a Viking fan. It's not as bad. I'm like, guys, just because I'm 7-8 wins better than you guys doesn't mean my life doesn't suck as a Minnesota Viking fan. It's still the same garbage.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Lord.
It's almost
one
like,
way or
what
another.
would you rather have? Blowouts every week, or you constantly lose like by one possession on the final drive of the game?
Yeah. And it's always that too. It's never just like fully if I lose, I lose. It's fine. But for the love of God, if I lose because my guy jumped too early or whatever, bounced the ball off his head, like that's the kind of stuff that happens to me. That's why when Diggs caught the miracle touchdown, I was just like in shock because that never happens for us. only to get smacked the next
No,
week. But
none.
that's classic shit. And
And
it's
believe
just
me,
like,
after spending time with you for like 10, 15 years, recent Vikings memory, that never happens.
no. So before we get into the fantasy show, let's run the wheel for our boys over at the in the Discord.
Pick that. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. It was like balls bumping all over the place. I saw it.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, ooh.
Steeler game's on, everybody. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, we our previous winner, Super Sledge John. He put out his banger of a parlay. If I do say so myself. Do I think it's going to hit? Probably not. But if it does, man, would it be electric?
It'd be
First
the best
leg,
thing in the world.
It was it was Yankees to win the American League.
Yep.
The Falcons to have 8 wins. Duke to win the men's college basketball. Notre Dame to win. I think it was the Devils to make the playoffs, and the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference.
Knicks at 5.
So
that's all that matters. Sounds like the Knicks is the only one the Knicks are the only one I'm rooting for.
Yeah. I looked and I'm like, I looked at the Falcons one and I'm like, all right, Falcons 8.5. I'm like, or they need to win 8 games. I'm like, yeah, they can go 8-9. And then I looked at their schedule and I'm like, oof, I don't even know if I can find 5.
They can go 6-12.
Bro, I don't know. If you look at the Falcons' first schedule before their bye week, the games they got to play,
Brutal.
Good luck. You might be taking team total under wins on that one. That's for another show.
Yep.
All right.
Well, shout out to our 5 contestants. We got JB, Joel, Juan again, Ange, and Blake. So outside of Joel,
time JB and Juan.
Yeah. If outside of Joel, I think we have a first-time winner here, right?
Yes.
Ange, Blake.
Well,
yeah, I don't think has Blake won
know.
anything?
Maybe.
I don't know. Either way.
I can't remember.
Well, let's get it popping. So, first spin, who's off the board?
For Juan's sake, don't Juan. Oh, no.
All right, so we're going to have a first-time winner. All right.
First-time winner now.
First-time winner, what do we got here? 25% chance it lands on your name. Yeah, we definitely have a first-time winner. Oh, my goodness. Blake, out. All right, so we're now down to Juan, JB, and Ange.
Oh,
spin it.
Oh, brother. Juan, you have a JB.
Oh, JB.
I really wanted it. I love
Ange.
Make sure I really wanted it to be. I really wanted it to be JB versus Juan.
I know. I should have put him on the other side. Oh, I guess I couldn't there, but. All right.
Juan is just
lands on your name 3 times? Yeah, Juan's just always going to be the final 2.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, cuz. Juan and Ange. Let's rock. Remember, got to land on your name 3 times. 1-0.
Not looking good. He started off 1-0 before, and he lost.
And it's 1-1. Here we go again.
1-1.
1-1.
Here we go again.
I knew it. The wheel conspires against me, you said.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
2-1 Ange. What do we got here? Oh, and it looks like Ange is the winner of the $3 bonus bet. Juan, I am so sorry. I feel like if we spun the wheel with just your name, you would still lose.
Juan is like the wheel and Juan is like, okay, perfect scenario. Juan is a WWE wrestler in the early 2000s, and the wheel is Triple H. He's just not winning.
Oh, Jesus Lord, he's not winning anything. Oh, he said I'm like the Buffalo Bills. I'm like the Buffalo Bills. All right. Well, congratulations to Ange winning the $3 bonus bet. Juan, better luck next time. Uh, I wasn't using my hands that time. So, so Ange, let me shout her out. If you want to explain the rules again, brother.
So the bonus bet, the way it works is I got a $3 bonus bet. You put it on anything, futures. We had Geo, he did a home run parlay. John, Super Sledge, he did futures for all of his teams that he likes, whether it be to win their conference, regular season games for NFL, championships, making the playoff, all that stuff. His was $3 to win $100,000. That's what we're talking about. That's life changing. Those are the parlay. 3 to win like $40,000, 3 to win $30,000, something like that. If you're gonna make the parlay, you got to make it go nuts because you never know. And if one of those hits, man, is it gonna go crazy over on social media or something?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Please submit your bet over to Kevin before the NFL season kicks off.
I can.
All right, congrats, Ange.
James. I don't know if something happened with the soundboard after I played the soundboard. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No. Can everybody hear me in the chat? Respond in the chat if you can hear me.
It's going to take them a second because it's delayed. It's going to take them a second because they're late. I don't know if you guys can. Yeah, who can you hear? Can you hear both of us?
Let me. I think I might have messed it up with the soundboard. Hold on. Let me refresh. I'll be right back.
Man, you're crazy. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know what he does, guys, that kills his internet or kills his sound, or I don't know what he does. But let me know. Actually, you know what? I can just let myself know. Where is the YouTube show? Hold on.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you before. I think I messed it up when I played the soundboard, and after it started clapping, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. I think it was you because I listened to the stream on this side, and I can hear. All right, cool. Well, they can hear us both. I think it was only just yours thing. So.
Yeah, anyway. I think it was after I played the soundboard. It just stopped working. I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Like woo. So, all right. So again, congratulations to Ange.
Yeah, Ange is going to cook up a third string tight end touchdown parlay for week 1.
Yeah, so you be ready for that because that might be worth millions of dollars.
Yes.
So, all right. So it's his neighbor stealing his consumer Wi-Fi, wireless Wi-Fi.
So Friday yet.
It's not Friday. So let's break it down real quick. So obviously we're going to be talking about fantasy football for the duration of the show. We're going to talk about strategies, a little ins and out of like who we like, or kind of sleepers and breakouts, the usual. But we're also going to talk about we have your questions that you put into the Discord, so we appreciate that, and also ask questions in the chat. Yeah, ask them in the chat because we'll be right here. We'll save it so you can ask it while we're talking about something else, and we'll answer it when we get to the questions part. Yep. So before we get going, I'm going to set up a scenario. Once I'm going to pull up a scenario for you. So we have a 1 QB league, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, tight end, flex. You have the 7th pick in a 12-team league.
Yep.
Your reaction of getting the 7th pick right off the top, like your initial reaction.
I'm not a fan of it, but I do like having the middle pick in the draft. This year though is like different. It's like I would rather either be really early or really late. I don't know how I sit on being in the middle with maybe like one of these first round picks. And it's scaring me a lot with all of these players that are coming out that are, tweaking this and tightness here, and they could be facing discipline. It's like there's a clear cut, like 1 through 4, I guess you could say, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in the top four for
That
what? Yeah,
five
what
through six, I
exactly?
feel like it could either be all interchangeable.
Yeah, I think
Like you
so.
know what you're getting with the top four.
Yeah.
And with the
So
back end of the draft, you could easily, like 10, 11, 12, you could easily stack and load. That middle part, it's like, this is what I'm trying to say. When you're in that middle area, that gray area, that 5 through 9, I guess, or 5 through 8, you need to
mm,
make sure that that guy you're taking is a bona fide stud. And right now, when I look at it and I look at the list, like, okay, Jonathan Taylor, JSN, McCaffrey, St. Brown, and Achan. Those are 5 guys right there where I could honestly say they all could have regressing years.
yeah, I
So
don't disagree at all. I think you're 100% right on that.
it's very hard being in the middle this year. Like it really is. Like,
Mm,
do you expect JT to have the same type of production he had last year? JSN to have the same type of production. Christian McCaffrey's already coming out with tightness. Devon Achan, he's supposed to be the bell cow in a terrible, terrible offense, and I hate taking players in terrible, terrible offenses. St. Brown, maybe that's the route you go with if he's there.
mm-hmm.
If he's not there, maybe you reach on a James Cook. Maybe you reach on a guy that you think that you like because you don't like the regressional downside. But I'm not going to tell you to not take Jonathan Taylor, not JSN. There's just concerns. You take
Mm-hmm.
those players if they're there, but you have to do your due diligence. You have to do your research. We touched on this last show where McCaffrey, every year that he's come off of tightness and come off of 400 plus touches, he doesn't play.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah, so it's very hard to, and we've kind of gone back and forth like offline, like texting each other, that we kind
Mhm.
of realize what are the top four are going to be. So you have, if you get an early pick, you want, obviously one of those four, but you don't want the 5, 6, and 7. Or at least I never did, because my whole life I've always wanted early or late.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it was a 10-team league, doesn't matter if it was a 12-team league, doesn't matter if it was a 14-team league. I didn't care. I wanted picks 1 or 2, or whatever the last two are, whether it be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I didn't care. Because
Yep.
how I look at it is like this. If I have a middle pick, and everyone likes to say, oh, well, you're in the middle pick, you don't have to wait that long to draft. But that also comes to like concerns about how you draft. So my initial reaction is when I have a pick 7 in a 14-team league, or a pick 8, is that if in that first round I have to hope somebody makes a mistake that I want to get somebody. So perfect example was last year in McCaffrey when I got him at the
Yeah.
7th pick. Seventh pick? Hold on, I'm looking now. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So I had the 8th pick. So I wanted McCaffrey the whole year, but the whole time I was like, he's not going to drop all the way down to the 8th pick. But if you get that kind of luck in something that you wanted to higher up, that just drops all the way the guy all the way down to what you need or to what you want, then you could start building your actual draft. Because not only was I trying to figure out what I was going to draft after McCaffrey, if I got McCaffrey, but if I didn't get McCaffrey, who was I going with?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got to build it a completely different way. So, as you have known me, and this is, for everybody else out there, I like running backs more so than receivers at all time. I don't care. So, we had a draft years ago where we switched the strategy, and it was like, oh, you should be receiver. And I tried it one year, and I thought it was the worst thing I ever did, because it didn't matter because of like how like the running back position was growing, and there are so many options now. But a running back, getting a secure running back that you can plug in every single time, like, and I understand what you say about Jonathan Taylor, but even in Jonathan Taylor's bad year, you're going to get a guaranteed 13, 14 points. Yeah, it sucks
Absolutely.
for what you're drafting at, but you're going to get 13, 14 consistently, compared to going after like a Devon Achan early on, and he, regresses or something like that, and he's going to regress bad if he regresses. Yeah. It's not like Jonathan Taylor's. Like, if Jonathan Taylor regresses, like, it's like, all right, well, he's still going to do well, but not, first round pick worthy. So,
and it's also different too. Like, there's a difference between taking a running back and his backup than taking a starting wide receiver number 1 and then the number 2. Like, I've always hated that. I've always hated
Yeah.
taking two receivers or like a receiver
Touchdown
tight
Steelers.
end on the same team. I'm behind. Um,
Sorry.
Drew Aller's looking nice though. But it always seemed very like I'm trying to think here. Except for like last year. If you had like CD Lamb and Pickens with like a Ferguson, then like
Mhm.
okay. But those are like anomaly teams. Like I always
Yeah.
didn't like taking a wide receiver and a tight end on the same team unless if it was like a high powered offense.
Yeah.
But a running back and a wide receiver on the same team, you can kind of get away with it. Like when you had like the Triple B era in Pittsburgh, when you had Le'Veon and Antonio Brown that were just going nuts.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, it goes to what you're saying. Like for that kind of thing where you want to pick on the same team, or for those like high classic, high end offenses that are you talk about. Like even though the Cowboys were bad last year or so called bad, like we still talked about how good that offense was. We didn't care.
that was the best offense in the league. They were putting up
Yeah.
40 like every game.
Exactly.
Just
So when
they
you have
couldn't
that kind
stop the
of
movement.
offense, no,
Mhm.
they couldn't. And when you have that kind of offense, that it doesn't matter who you pick in that offense, whether you have two or three. There was a league that I had last year. I had Dak, I had George Pickens, I had Javante Williams, I had Jake Ferguson. I literally had the Cowboys, and
Yes.
it was amazing. So that kind of time makes sense to do it. But go ahead, what you were going to say.
No, like and this also goes too with depending on your league size. Um, Now, like you were saying, you have the seventh pick, but in a 10-team league, it might not be as bad. You have the seventh pick in a 12-team league. You're starting to get dicey. Your league, seventh pick in a 14-team league. It's hard. Like, and that's why I say like I have a 10-team, a 12, and a 14. I don't do
Mhm.
8 unless if you're telling me that the buy-in is like $500. Um, but like if you really want to test your skill level in fantasy, do a 14-team league because it's there's nothing like it, and it's like you get down like once you hit like round 10 or 11, it's like all right,
Who the hell's there?
yeah, who is available that's going to be like profitable for me. Yeah. But no, like in terms of strategy, uh, unless if you play in a super flex league, there's no reason why you should be taking a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. Um,
Ever.
I've never really understood it, unless
Nope.
if you play in like and every team's or every league's point system is different. Like my league's wacky. I
Yeah.
got like it's crazy. It's always been that way. Um, but even then, though, like I still never take a quarterback until like the third or fourth round. Um, and that always scares me too with taking like a Josh Allen or a Lamar or Drake May because it alluded to last year. You could have you take Lamar or Josh in the first third round, or you could have waited until Dak Prescott in the eighth or ninth,
Yeah.
and he finished
So
top QB5 QB3.
Exactly. So that's why, like, that's always been like a thing being talked about for years. Is like, oh, when do I take my quarterback? When that, and you get, those weird leagues that you're in that randomly somebody takes a quarterback in the early third or like late second somehow, and you're just like, all right, this league is all messed up if we're doing that because you have to look at it like this. Unless you're getting value off these quarterback type players, and I mean like value as in like Josh Allen in like the late fourth, early fifth kind of thing. I'm
Yeah,
not going to waste my time, and it's not wasting my time, quote unquote. You're still getting Josh Allen, but I'm not wasting a roster spot that early on a quarterback like Josh Allen when I can get somebody like, and he might have a great year this year, but like the years for like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray for years it was a good fantasy quarterback because he ran a lot. Now he doesn't run as much, but that kind of production you can kind of get 6 rounds later, and guess what? You just picked up a top 10, 20 receiver in the third round when you instead of you taking Josh Allen when you got the same Josh Allen later on.
and to counterpoint that, and I want to ask your opinion on this because we
Mm-hmm.
do have a lot of people that do it in your league, in a 14 team. Um, you stack up on receivers, right? Like let's say you have a later pick, like 13. You stack up
Yeah.
on receivers. By the time it comes back to you in 13, would you take a Josh Allen or a Lamar that is a better, red zone threat or a higher scoring than maybe a lower echelon running back? And then you have to worry about like, is it more of
Mhm.
an upside on taking a Josh Allen, or would you rather just say, screw it, I'm going to
Mhm.
test my luck out with one of these, running backs and stack up running backs in 3-4? How would you attack that?
So how I would attack it is that if I'm going with two receivers right off the rip,
Mm-hmm.
and regardless of if I'm in the middle pick later on or early on, if I'm going two receiver set, I'm still not going to go with a quarterback. Only for the simple reason is this: if I'm stacking up a receiver, is this a three receiver league or is it two? Because that's a
No,
different
we'll
story
say
too.
it. We'll say it
My
like it's
league,
your league. Yeah, it's a
okay,
two
so
running
three.
back, a three receiver, and a quarterback, and a tight end and a
Okay,
flex.
okay. So the reason why, if I stack up on receivers early,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still just going to keep pushing the envelope because the running backs that you could take there are like good luck almost. Like you have to hit that. Like if you don't hit it, you're done. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
not winning the league if you don't hit any of the. If you take a running back in the third or fourth round
That's
as
your
to be your
first.
main bet, yeah, as your main
Yes.
bell cow back, yeah, you're gonna you're risking it. I always thought that as me, I'm different. I like running backs, up the wazoo. But if you go running back receiver or receiver running back, then I can understand you going with a Josh Allen only because then you have a top tier player at each one of that position, whether it be running back,
Absolutely.
receiver, and quarterback. And then you
See,
can
for
start
me,
integrating these other guys.
and for me, in a lot of my leagues, and I found it to be successful, is I do like the double anchor running back, or I'll
Mhm.
do, the double running back system has really helped me a lot in recent years. You stack up on two highly touted running backs. Then, 3, 4, 5, fifth round, whatever, you take your receivers or an elite tight end if you want. Then you wait for your quarterback. You get like a Baker, or you get in your case like a Kyler Murray, like
Hmm.
somebody that I feel like that nobody's talking about, or just a decent quarterback, like serviceable, like Drake May last year. Nobody thought Drake May was going to be doing what he was doing,
No.
but he ended up being what, a top 5, top 10 quarterback at the end of the year for fantasy. Like
Yeah, he did.
even like a Bo Nix, like just somebody that's capable of playing the position. It's like, okay, you
Mhm.
can give me 15 to 20 at quarterback. All right, I can handle it.
Yeah.
Because then you have the other pieces as in a 2 running back and a 3 decent. Like if you give me 2 bell cow running backs and 3 receivers that are like number 2s on their team, like a Pickens or an
Yeah.
Ibuka, Ibuka now
Hmm.
is number 1, but like I'm going over last year. If you had Pickens, Ibuka, and like Ted McMillan, you were looking decent.
Yeah.
3,
No, I, three,
3. Third pick,
3.
Andre, is that what you're talking about? Like if you have pick 3, like
Yeah. All right, Trey.
Lane? Oh, okay, all right, all
They're
right,
talking about something else.
yeah,
Anyway,
got it.
but yeah, exactly. But exactly what you're saying is that, especially now in a QB driven league, if you don't want to go quarterback early, you don't have to by any means. Do not believe this like not because there's a lot of people that I know that are like, oh well, I got to get Josh Allen here. Like, no, don't act like you have to. Even if you have him in the fourth round potentially, like if I wanted to go, and I'm just throwing names and numbers out. If I wanted to go McCaffrey in the fourth round, let's say he just dropped, I'm just saying BS, and I want him the whole time, the whole offseason, whatever. But then it's like, oh, Josh Allen dropped to this spot. It's like, wow, do I change my whole draft strategy because this guy
Stay
dropped?
stay to
You
your strategy.
stay
But then that
in your
also
lane.
goes to what you were saying. You stay to your strategy. If your strategy is to take Josh Allen, then you take Josh
Mm-hmm.
Allen. You're not going to change your whole strategy. Like if you built your draft on like I'm taking Josh Allen in the third round, I need A, B, and C to build around him, and then go.
Yep.
Give yourself a backup plan. Always have a plan B. Have a plan C. Like I will throw this out there. The last couple of years, I love. I go to Fantasy Pros. I like Walter Picks. I've been doing it. I've been using them a lot lately. I've been using them the past maybe 5, 6 years. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's very profitable, and I've been very profitable using that. But what they do is they give you, like, if you were to say do a mock draft, they give you like 5 different options or 3 different options, and they tell you, like, if you already have these two, it makes no sense to take this guy. Like, don't build your team around this guy, build it around this guy. Do it like
Absolutely.
so. It all comes down to it as number one, don't reach on players unless you really, really, really have to, or you really like them on your board. And it's tough this year. I feel like it's one of the hardest years. This goes back to the, I feel like that David Johnson year. Remember where Frazier took David Johnson, and it was just terrible.
Yeah, just
like an awful
he broke
year.
his hand on the week 1. Yeah, it's just he was
And
never
then,
like the same guy he was the year before that. But yeah, something like that.
And then a couple of years ago, where like everybody's ADP was way inflated, and like a lot of people, I remember talking with Paul about this at your house, where I'm like, man, I don't know why these guys are ranked as highly as they are when you have really good guys later on in the draft. And I think that was one of the years I think that was the year that I won it in your league. Not last year, but the year before. I think 2 years ago. It was sort of like that, where everything was like inflated.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's like that this year, but I don't know.
Well, so what I've come to realize is that drafting off different platforms, obviously Yahoo, Sleeper, ESPN, CBS, just like going and seeing how everything is ranked so differently, even with the same rules that you apply to, because I if there's one thing I hate the most is Sleeper's rankings of these players, because based off what I have compared to that,
It's
annoys me beyond belief. It annoys me because, and same thing with Yahoo too, because like I'll have a quarterback or a running back who I'm like, oh, this should be good in the 5th round, and his ADP is like 3.4, and I'm like, why is this guy so high up here? But everything I read and everything I want to watch and everything I see and note down is lower. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what their conscious basis of off of it. That's why I've gotten so close to like ESPN and live drafts, because it keeps me in my own lane.
Yeah.
Because like I mentioned before, when you have somebody who drops that's not supposed to drop, then you get that's more dangerous than anything else.
Absolutely, because then you say to yourself, if I don't take him, I look like an idiot. But then it's like, if I do take him, then I just messed up my whole draft strategy.
Yeah. Perfect example was last year in my league. In one of my other leagues, right? I had the 5th or 6th pick in that, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to get Justin Jefferson, who I wanted just because I wanted Justin Jefferson. I'm going to take McCaffrey, everything like that. Then Justin Jefferson fell to me, and I'm like, but I want Justin Jefferson, but I've been on McCaffrey this whole time. But I'm like, oh, but I haven't picked Justin. And that's another thing, too. When you do as many drafts as we do, you start doing your draft later on, like the last draft that you do. Like, you know what? I don't have a team that I started with Justin Jefferson. Let me start with Justin Jefferson. When you have the guy that you've been drafting the whole time right next to him, and just because he fell to you, you're just like, oh, I got to try it. Like, no, you don't have to. No matter what league you do, unless it's formatted differently, 2 QBs, 2 receivers, 1 running back, whatever it may be, 2 flexes, that's different. But if you have the same draft 10 times in a row at different picks, you keep what you want to do at all times, because that's what you studied on, that's what you looked at, and just because Christian McCaffrey dropped down to 7 when you had 8. And now your mind's all fucked up. Don't change. Go with your guy. I cannot stress that enough, because you're just overthinking like crazy.
And the worst is, like, I felt like I don't know, and if Andre's still in the chat, he could probably agree with me. It felt like 3 years in a row. It was like me, Andre, and Frazier in your league, like back to back to back, and like we would all be sniping each other's picks and whatever. But then there would be like 1 or 2 guys in the league, I'm not going to mention any names, and we would look at each other and we would be like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, just messing. Like, and that's the one thing that you cannot account for, is 1 or 2 people in your fantasy leagues that just fuck the whole draft, and it could go down fast, like really fast. Like you got guys that like Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. Are they supposed to go? Like maybe late third, early fourth? Yes, because that's what their ADP says. But then you get guys because they take Brock and then a McBride on the background. Then you got guys in the league that are reaching on player like tight ends that shouldn't be taken then. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of guys at other ADPs that are higher fall to like, you're just making teams better by doing that. Like you're not doing yourself any favors. To go on to Vin, like Fatim. Fatim did it that one year when he drafted fucking Mahomes in the first round or something. And then he just decided to draft just decided to draft like 8 running backs in a row. Yeah. I'm like, what are we fucking doing? And he still went on to beat Andre. But it's one of those things where it's like you can't account for that, and then it like infuriates the hell out of me because, and even there's times where I would look at Ange too, because I would sit next to Ange and I'd be like, I feel like this just messed up. Like you get such in a rhythm, and you get your guys, and then like you say, a guy falls to you in your lap, and you're like, I guess I got to take him now. Yeah. But you got the one devil on your shoulder saying take him, and then you got the one on stay with your plan. You're working now. It's all falling into place. Don't go with plan H. Just like stay with your plan.
It's like the box method in Family Guy when it's like, yeah, you want a boat, but here's a ticket in a box that could be anything. Here's something. It could be anything. It could even be a boat.
It could be a boat. Yeah. No. Just take the sure thing. Take the boat.
Yeah, I have Christian McCaffrey at 4. Yeah, but a box could be anything. It could be Christian McCaffrey. But no, take what you know. Let somebody else make the reach. Because not only is that the person that you're dropping by or letting them take them instead of you, but that messes up everybody else behind you.
Yes.
Because if you think I'm going to take this guy and then I don't, you're just like, oh boy, you got it. Once you learn a league and how they draft, you pit each and every one against them somehow, some way, mentally, and not because of where you draft anything like that, but you're just like, I'm following the board. The board does not make sense. So what do we do here?
Yeah. And then you got guys in your league that just don't know what they're doing. Like, it's been
Andre.
It's been like that. For 15 years. Like, what are we doing?
I agree. So we'll get back to it. Let's go answer some questions. Let me get to the Discord here. I think there's only one in there because you guys all suck. All right. So Bobo goes, I got the 10th pick in a draft. What's a good idea for my pick? Should it be a running back or receiver? What type of strategy would you guys give for someone with a 10th pick in a PPR league? You asked 10, 12, or 14. He said 12. So do you want to go or you want me to start?
I mean, I'll start. I can give you what I would take. Unless you have St. Brown fall to you at 10, I think you double up on running backs. I think you do the double anchor running back method. You take a running back early at 10, and then you wait for your come around to just take another running back. Because I think that there would be more value later on in the, when it comes back to you for 3-4, that you can have better value at 2 wide receivers than you would as, say, another running back. Would that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way it's, I'm watching the Field of Dreams game, which, shout out MLB for not promoting their stuff. The Twins guy just knocked the ball over the wall for Schwarber's second home run. Anyway, so you know me, and a lot of people, obviously, I'm all about the running backs, like I said. At the 10th pick, it kind of, in a 12-team league, it goes with that same mentality of, I like my late picks. The three last picks in that draft, I'm all about it. Whether it be the 10th league, a 10-team, a 12-team, or a 14 league. Because it gives you that bona fide star that you want.
Yep.
And then it also gives you a guy that you can easily double up even more on. So, like you said, you want to double up on running backs, right? With let's say Jonathan Taylor.
Well, no, if
You
you,
get-
if you got the 10th pick, I don't think JT's going to make it that far. I'm saying if you're looking at it right now and you go to rankings, you're looking at maybe what, like a James Cook?
Yeah, but again, in that, so I've seen like James Cook, Genty, Chase Brown, Jonathan Taylor, all that. So in a 12-team league, you got to think of it this way: in a 12-team league at a 10th pick, you maybe get Jonathan Taylor. Let's just say you do, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Bobo gets Jonathan Taylor. He doesn't have to pick Jonathan Taylor. I'm just saying that's like a big name that drops down. You don't have to pick Jonathan Taylor. What I will say though, when you get to Jonathan Taylor, now you can do it. Now you could do even better. So how I had last year with McCaffrey at 7 or 8, I went back and hit Bucky Irvin. Just because not only did I think that McCaffrey was going to do what he does, but if in the case that McCaffrey is the so-so one, hopefully he plays, but is not having the best kind of year.
Yeah.
You had a guy who does the same kind of things that Jonathan Taylor does in an offense that uses him as a secondary. And then if you get your star player as in Jonathan Taylor doing his thing, now you just doubled up even more. So you can run that back with like a Devon Achane or a Chase Brown, and now you're looking at a lot of damn points right off the rip.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. And speaking of who I was talking about before with Fantasy Pros, they have a new number one.
Tim Brady?
On top of no, it's not Tim Brady. New number one. Shout out the league. They have a new number one overall. Can you take a guess on who it is?
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
You know what? When I was looking at some stuff a couple weeks ago, like just brainstorming some fantasy stuff, and you saw Gibbs 1 and you saw Bijan 2, and then you saw potentially JSN 3, Puka 4, Jamar Chase, and I'm like, why is Jamar Chase 4 or 5? Like,
don't know.
Not that it's not a knock on him or anything like that, but I was just like, this is a guy who produces every year. Now everybody's healthy, quote unquote, and we're just gonna pass that by like he's not gonna do what Jamar Chase does. So it was very weird. And they got something to prove this year because guess what? If it doesn't work this year, like we said last show, if it doesn't work this year, it's never going to work. And it's time to move on. Not move on from maybe like players, but either get a new coach, get a new GM that puts the team together. You got to do something because what they have going on right now is not working over in Cincinnati. So this is their last shot. So who knows? Yeah,
and that was another thing I was going to say. Vin just alluded to. Because when you look at Fantasy Pros, it's Chase, Gibbs, Puka, and then they got Bijan at 4. I mean, there's some leagues I have the 4th pick. If you're going to tell me Bijan's going to fall to me at 4, then I'll sign up for that.
So you know why that Bijan is dropping down? Do you want to guess what I'm going to say? But
Tua?
No, it has nothing to do with the quarterback situation because he's quarterback proof. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're worried about the whole thing with Stefanski, how he doesn't use the running back in the passing game.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and I get that. But he's never had a running back like Bijan Robinson. Nick Chubb, great. Fantastic running back. In the receiving game, is he Bijan Robinson? Not a chance.
No, because Bijan's an east-west playmaker. Chubb was north-south. He'll run you over. Like, could he catch the ball? Yes, but he's designed to run you over. Whereas in Bijan, he does everything. Guy literally does everything.
Yes, he does. So I think people are starting to take that in consideration a little bit too much than they should because and I wonder if it has anything to do with the quarterback situation too. So, I mean, listen, if I have a 5 or 6 pick in any of my leagues and Bijan's going to drop to me, I 1,000% am taking him. I'm not letting that guy go because you could say about the offensive line is not as good as it was or the new coach and this and that. It's Bijan Robinson at the end of the day. He's going to get his touches.
I love it. I fucking love it.
No, at least someone talks.
But JB, what he was saying before, and this is what I was saying, like you said, Jonathan Taylor right now is slotted at number 10.
Yeah.
I would pair him up with either a James Cook or a Chase Brown, because then when you start to look at it, when it comes back to you, the other running backs that are there would be Barkley, Kenny Walker, Amarian Hampton, who we already heard Mike McDaniel say that it's going to be a three-headed bell cow. Barkley just came off the field with some injury concerns. You don't know what Kansas City's offense is going to look like with Kenneth Walker. And then you have Derrick Henry at 36th, Jeremiah Love, or you could double up on the running back. And then when it comes back to you, you're looking at a Devontae Smith, a Malik Neighbors, a Zay Flowers, a Garrett Wilson, a Ted McMillan, a T. Higgins, a Lad McConkey. Two solid receivers to build with a James Cook and a Jonathan Taylor. You know what I'm saying? That's why me and you, we always thought alike when it came to with the running back. Like, I'm going to take a running back now. I'm going to stack up on them, and I'm just going to take a gang of twos, and hopefully they could turn into a one.
Yep. So it's because I've always liked quantity over quality, because and it goes to show how I draft. I don't take Christian McCaffrey and know that he's going to be the number one running back in the league with all his production. You see what I take after McCaffrey. Last year was a perfect example. I took Bucky Irvin. I didn't have to take Bucky Irvin. I could have taken, Brock Bowers, JSN, T. Higgins. I could have taken all those guys because I'm like, oh well, I have the number one running back. I'm going to, just bank on him. That's not the good thing to do, because if you bank on him, that's a glutton for punishment as well. Because if he gets hurt, you are screwed.
That's why if you have the number one pick overall and you do take a Gibbs, you better believe in that turnaround. I'm going to take another running back and then a receiver, or a receiver and a running. You have to take another running back with Gibbs. You have to.
Yep.
Or with Bijan. Like if you got 1-2 and you take them 1-2, it goes 1-2. That turnaround, it better be a running back receiver, or like if you say to yourself, okay, I'm complacent with Gibbs, and then I'm going to take two receivers there. But what if Gibbs gets hurt? What if Bijan gets hurt? What if you don't have a backup plan? Because if you don't take a running back, if you're foolish enough to just take Gibbs and Bijan and then double up on receivers, and then you expect there to be a quality running back coming back to you in rounds 4 or 5, buddy, just hand over your money now and just tell your guys in the league that you're done for the year.
Yeah. You're really just like pushing the envelope with yourself there, because you cannot. Oh God, I can't. And you know what the good thing about it is, that if these guys all go off, let's say you draft 3-4 running backs and they all are having amazing seasons, not only do you have where you could pick who you want to start that week, but someone's going to need a running back, and you're going to need a receiver. You're going to need a quarterback. You're going to need a tight end, because I'd rather take my chances with wide receivers all day than tight ends or than running backs, because once a running back goes down, it becomes a committee, and it does not matter what team it is. It becomes a committee. There is no second string running back that they're saying, okay, James Conner got hurt. Here you go, Trey Benson. Oh, wait, no, Trey Benson actually sucks. Okay, here's DeMarcado. DeMarcado sucks. Oh, wow, okay, so we have to use all three of these guys now. Let me think about that. You're not going to draft any of those guys.
No. And then your teammates are going to be, and your league mates, I should say, are going to be foolish enough to be going on the waiver wire to immediately pick up that backup running back, thinking that they are going to be the next bell cow for that team, when it most certainly is not. And like, you can be lucky, like, unless if you're in a situation where it's like, an Aaron Jones and a Jordan Mason, where spoiler alert, that's Jordan Mason's job to lose, because Aaron Jones fucking sucks.
Not according to Kevin O'Connell. So you know how he likes to switch it.
I get that.
Whatever. But that's a topic for a nice show in a couple weeks. Don't worry.
But to go on what Ange was saying with the suspensions, with Puka Nacua, I'm not really too concerned about. I would draft Puka, but I would definitely have a backup plan for it. I would definitely try to take, like, you can go Puka, and then on the way turn around, you can go, your two running backs. And then I would load up on as many receivers and tight ends as possible, because I don't know how much of a suspension he could get. He can get 4, he can get 8. Like, I don't know what the NFL is going to determine, like, with the severity and the length of what he did. And, like, the fact that Rashee Rice isn't facing any suspension time. I mean, granted, I guess he kind of did, but, like, he's not serving any jail time for what he
Can you remind me what Puka did?
which I think is
no,
crazy to me. He bit a You lose me.
I don't even know what he. I don't. Yeah, no. I got you now.
He bit a woman, and he bit his girlfriend in the off season. And then he did some other stuff.
What is wrong with these guys, bro? Like,
I don't know. And then Josh Jacobs. I honestly wouldn't draft Josh Jacobs anyway. But in terms of him, like, I would steer clear of him and just take other running backs. Like, I don't think that he's a top 10 running back in terms of fantasy production anyway. And then refresh my memory on other people that can get suspensions. Oh my God, I'm like losing.
Jacobs was right. Let me see.
I think Jacobs and Nakua were the two big ones.
Yes. So I'm looking for
a lot of other people. A lot of people were coming back from injuries, like Neighbors, who I've been hearing that he's been doing very well in practice.
So, I mean, we could talk about a little bit about injuries, like injured players that are coming back but I want to stay on the suspension thing because I want to see who else. I think those are the two biggest names, if I'm not mistaken.
I think there's a couple guys on defense for teams.
Okay.
And unless, like, if you put way too much stock into defense, or if you're in like an IDP league, then
which I'm not anymore, thank God.
Then, well, you're in my league. You are.
Then, one player, like I
know.
Yeah, Helen Keller.
That's why I left it. That's why I left it to that. Yeah. Why are you screwed, JB? What, did you draft him in another league already?
I think he has him in his dynasty league.
Oh shit.
Honestly, you just got to write it out at this point. You can't. You're not going to be able to trade him. You're not going to get the value that you drafted him with, so you can't.
I don't even know who's their backup. Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah, or Marshawn Lloyd, maybe.
Jordan, fucking, what's his name?
Actually, you know what? The Marshawn Lloyd or Emmanuel Wilson. I don't know, somebody that the Packers and the Packer fans and the media will say they're amazing, like Jordan Love. But that's another time.
I already told you my thoughts. The quarterback that was supposed to be for the team is already on another team.
Hell yeah. So, I mean, James Pierce, that's a defensive guy, the Falcons. Yeah. Alaric Jackson, the left tackle for the Rams, but that doesn't really matter.
No, but in just in terms of, like, production players, I think it's just Nakua and Jacobs. I wouldn't really put too much into the Puka suspension thing right now. I would be more concerned with what injuries he has going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Diggs too. Juan Diggs is gone. He's not the same guy as he was.
He's on the Commanders now. He's not going to be he's not the same guy anymore.
The Commanders have enough problems now with Tunsil being hurt. So, and then their quarterback is more concerned about why his jersey is being used in LSU than it is in the NFL. Like, just crybaby bullshit.
What are you talking about, bro? You are, first of all, you're not the quarterback Joe Burrow is in the NFL or in college. So let's stop there. It's only those two because of their piece. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep. No, it makes sense.
But you also have Tyreek Hill too. Tyreek Hill also as well.
I think he's done.
I think he's done too, but like that's also looming.
A lot of people and like a lot of doctors were saying too, like, and granted, you could put whatever stock you want into like doctors on like Twitter and like the NFL Network, but like they're saying that coming back from an injury that he had like is not the same.
Yeah. No.
With Jaden Daniels, 9-3, you won the Heisman Trophy, and that was it. Like, Joe Burrow went undefeated, won the Heisman, had arguably the greatest offense that college football has ever seen. Like, what are we talking about?
Hey, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna keep harping on it because of certain things and all that.
It's honestly, it's just the Commanders doing Commander things.
Yeah, it's a classic Commanders players, but it's like Jaden, like, why? What is making you bring that up? Like, you got a season to prep for. You got a comeback season after you just had a bad year, and this is what you're doing?
Too many of these kids are, number one, too involved in social media. Number two, they have buddies that are way too involved and in their ear chirping. And number three, their feelings. Everybody's, it's like, bro, you were not the quarterback that Joe Burrow was. Your quarterback is not going to get retired. I don't want to hear about oh, well, it's not right, like what they're doing. It's college. It's college. Unless if you're
Why are
Tim
you
Tebow
focused on college in the NFL?
But that's my point. He's like his third year, fourth year in the NFL. Like, bro, worry about now. Like your offensive tackle went out. You have another bum wide receiver. So it's weird. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like you're looking for kind of clicks for yourself because no one's talking about you anymore. No one's talking about the Commanders. So he's like, oh, let me throw this out there. Like, if you're trying to get money out of it, which would be ridiculous, you have enough money. Like, fine, whatever. But you're not. You're doing this in some kind of weird way that makes you relevant. And it's not like no one's saying you were irrelevant. That's the whole thing. It's not like we were like, oh, forgot about Jaden Daniels, forgot this guy exists. Like, no one was saying that. So it's like, I don't know. I don't get his ambition with it. I don't get I don't know. But to stay on the fantasy side of it, because we can go on and on about that. Guys that are hurt. Let's talk about that real quick. So guys that are hurt or that were hurt. So Tucker Kraft's a great example. Malik Neighbors, another example. I'm never one, and this is my kind of strategy with them. Whatever their ADP is once the draft begins is not where I'm taking them. I don't care how good they look in training camp. I don't care how they look in practice and at preseason games. It's a different grueling game when you start playing for real compared to playing in the preseason and on training camp. So what I like to do, and this will be a shout out to everybody, when those guys, Malik Neighbors and Tucker Kraft, get drafted higher than they should or at their ADP, the first 5 weeks when somebody's upset with them and they just don't like what they're doing, Malik Neighbors goes 4 games where he has 5 catches for 50 yards. You're like, wow, I can't believe I wasted a first-round pick on this guy or a second-round pick on this guy or a fourth round on this guy. Like, I'm as another owner in the league, I'm going to see that. Do I need a receiver? I can buy low. I can buy low like crazy. And that is the main thing I don't like going after. Even during Adrian Peterson's resurgence on his ACL, go back and look at the first 4 weeks of that season. He had good games, but nothing crazy. Nothing like Adrian Peterson was the rest of the year. Not MVP level, no.
No, but they were good. All right, not bad. But if you drafted Adrian Peterson in the second round that year, you're like, I wasted a second round pick for a guy who's going to get 12 fantasy points, and just because he's not scoring,
buy low, sell high. I mean, shit. If it wasn't for shout out Vin, he's probably still in the chat. That one trade I made with him that I won the league when I traded. I don't even remember. I think it was for Jaden Reed and somebody else. And Jaden Reed didn't do anything. But
I probably told him not to do it.
I won the league because of that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, before we get into anything, this episode of Dollar Bets is brought to you by Patriots Water. If you're looking to stay hydrated and feel your best, Patriots delivers oxygenated spring water designed to help you support energy, recovery, and overall wellness. Whether you're hitting the gym, spending the day on the golf course, or settling in for a full slate of NFL games, this is the hydration you can count on. Visit Patriots today and use promo code DollarBet to save 10% off your order. Stay refreshed, stay hydrated, and level up with Patriots Water. I have it. It's amazing.
Water. So,
water.
So,
all right.
Yeah. So, what I was gonna say? Oh God, I forgot. We'll talk about this for like 5 minutes, and then we'll kind of sign off for the night. Tuesday, be sure to join us on Tuesday. We'll be doing a live mock draft. We'll be talking about fantasy as well, but we're going to do a live mock draft for all you guys there. There's a little bit of delay in the stream based off what YouTube shows and what we have. So we're going to go and talk about our picks. But I also think that we're going to do like a mock draft like on Draft Wizard for like Fantasy Pros where we can pause it and talk about what we would do here and what would we do here.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Because that's what I use. I advise everybody to use that. If you want to level up and get better in your leagues, I would definitely go over. I would use Draft Wizard. It's by Fantasy Pros. They give you in-depth detail on who to pick. Is this the right guy? And like what James said for mock drafts, they don't. It's not. You're not on a time clock. You can take the time clock off. You can take as much time as you need. You can discuss, and then we can go from there. So great idea.
Yep. So before we head off, give me your top 3 players that you found yourself like mocking. I can go first if you want me to. In my mock draft, the top 3 players I've seen myself. So I put myself based off my main league, which is my league. So at 14. So I find myself taking like a Chase Brown or a James Cook if they drop that far. On the wraparound is where it gets interesting because if those running backs start getting taken off, now I got to start thinking, if I don't have any of these running backs here, do I go back? And I know he just got hurt today, quote unquote. Yeah. Do I just take a shot here and take an old reliable that we were all used to and Saquon Barkley?
It's not wrong. So
no,
I like all of them, and we already alluded to. I kind of threw out mine earlier because of your league. I have the 10th pick in a 14 team. Kind of threw out that strategy, but in another league, I have a 4th pick in the draft. So I've been looking on that. Is it beneficial for me to, take a Puka, or maybe Chase falls? Maybe somebody takes Puka before Chase, and I get dealt with Chase. Or do I just say screw it and I take a Jonathan Taylor, and then I wait for the wraparound to come back and I take another running back, and then I take a receiver and start working off that way. But I've been finding myself like kind of like almost like crossing my fingers and hoping that somebody before me messes up and I do land with Chase, because if I can land with Chase and get 2 solid running backs after that, then I'm okay with it. That's kind of what I'm playing with. And there's really no names like on that turnaround. Like you could probably interchange any 2 running backs in there, and you're going to get the same type of quality production that you would get if you were to, take a guy as on the turnaround, like you were saying for your picks. Like, there is a Saquon, but Derrick Henry could fall. Jake Bubble. That's for round 18.
Shit, I'll drop him round 4.
Yeah. Who's a sleeper that you really like that you could find like maybe deep in the draft that's going to give you that upside production at a position that maybe a top 5 candidate can do, because we always see one guy that comes out.
Yeah. So what I found in the mock drafts that I've been doing, I think like my sleeper, I've been drafting this guy a lot, is Dallas Goedert. And it's only because I don't ever draft high on tight ends. I tried it one year. It was with Trey McBride in the year that he didn't score any touchdowns. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. I don't care. I really don't. I don't ever care about unless Trey McBride drops to the 5th round, I'm not taking him. I'm sorry. Just not doing it. But in that kind of strategy, I'm not taking tight end all the way till the end. And I'll play multiple tight ends each week because everyone's like, oh, how do you go through the waiver wire, who to start? I know who I'm starting each week because of the guys that I drafted. I drafted these guys high, so I'm starting them each week regardless of the matchup. Yeah, it's the tight ends, kickers, and defenses that I'll mix and match on each week, or even quarterback if I have to go late into the rounds to get quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Great, and that's another great look by Ange. He gets all the looks because Hurts is overrated. I never
Well,
seen a
yes,
guy
that's-
who was balled out in the Super Bowl like he has twice, and then it's just ass everywhere else. I don't understand it. It blows my mind.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, going back to it with sleepers, I feel like sleepers this year it's going to be like very tight end heavy. I have two of them. I mean, the guy last year, maybe I'm going to roll with him, Jawan Johnson. I really like with the Saints. He built like some type of a chemistry with Shuck. And then I also, as much as I hate it because it like screwed me over in so many like betting things, was probably Strange from Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well, Strange is a very good. It's a good chance because, first of all, they're loaded on offense between Parker Washington, Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter can come in every once in a while. It's. I'm wondering if they're going to use him more to block.
That's my concern.
Yeah. Or do they keep their vertical threat going down the field so Parker Washington gets the middle of the field, and then if he has to check down, it's always going to be Strange.
Yes.
So it goes back and forth with that because of just how much talent that team has around Trevor this year compared to normal years.
What's your take on Greg Dulcich from Miami?
I think Greg Dulcich is like your. I had him like 4 years ago, and he was like my savior for like 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I like him. I think he's a good player. But
who's the guy? Who's the redhead that was on Cincy that was like that?
The redhead that was on Cincy.
Hayden Hurst.
Oh my god.
That it was like he had like 2 weeks, and everybody thought that he was like the greatest thing, and then
Hayden Hurst is your perfect player as you bet on Mark Andrews to score a touchdown, and here comes Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
And you're just like throwing stuff at the wall, and you're so pissed, and you're just like, what the actually?
And then I also, because I've been like deep diving into tight ends because I don't really want to like. I know I don't want to take Brock as much as that's my guy. Brock, a McBride, maybe a Laporta, like a kid. Like I want to try to find somebody. I really liked AJ Barner towards the end of the year too with Seattle.
Yeah,
I think he can be somewhat of a threat. I don't really think who's Seattle's number 2. Is it the fossil Cooper Kupp still?
I think. Well, I guess if you want to call him the 2, isn't it? Oh my god, why am I drawing a blank?
I just drew the biggest blank in my head.
What the?
But anyway, I like AJ Barner.
Go ahead. I'll find it. Yeah.
AJ Barner, I like. I mean, I think.
No, Rashid Shaheed. Jesus, I'm stupid.
Oh, Shaheed. Yeah, they traded for him. No, I like Barner in that offense. Likely with the Giants. Shaheed.
I just watched Jeremiah Love just absolutely.
It's the Raiders.
Wow.
It's preseason,
bro. But like just his.
I know
the juice that he had, bro. The Cardinals. And why do you have 4 running backs?
Because they don't know who they're gonna play.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be like
one.
Wait, their backup's Algier, right?
Algier, James Conner, you name it. Like they have.
I know. That's weird.
Juan, to your question, what rookies I'm looking to draft? The one I keep coming back to, as much as I love Jeremiah Love, is Carnell Tate.
Carnell Tate, baby.
I love the Titans this year. I love Cam Ward. I love Carnell Tate. I love to see a young quarterback get paired with a good offensive coordinator as in Dable. And I think, I hope they take the next steps because I think Cam Ward's very talented.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one guy. I think it's Carnell Tate. And then I don't know how long this guy's going to keep doing this, but Mekhi Lemon too is just like his hamstrings. Like, is this going to be a thing? Is he the new Deshaun Jackson with his hamstrings?
Probably.
Like, I don't know if I want to deal with that all year.
Yeah, I don't know. And I like if Seattle is really talking about him the way that they are, and they drafted him in the first round for a reason. I mean, Jadarian Price, I liked him at Notre Dame too. It's not like Jeremiah Love was like the number. Like Jadarian Price was regarded as being better than Jeremiah Love at one point. Jeremiah Love just took that job from him.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love just took that job and just ran. Like Jadarian Price, he's not a slouch. Like, they drafted the backup from Notre Dame, but people don't realize that Notre Dame had that was their offense. It was Price and Love.
It was. I could not agree more. I think they trade Connor. Yeah, you know what, sis? They probably do. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, I'm shocked they haven't already. But I guess maybe they'll wait until the end of camp and see.
I think they're waiting for an injury to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Or what if Josh Jacobs is suspended? You don't think Green Bay is going to get on the phone and try to call up for James Conner?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, they're just going to hold on to him and see what they can get fully from. Oh boy, go white boy.
One thing I want to talk about on the next show.
Oh, he's not white. Never mind. He's too fast.
One thing I'm going to talk about on the next show with you and for everybody here listening is probably how to try. Oh, go. Run.
That's what I was talking about.
Run, Forrest, run. Oh, man.
Got caught at the one.
But one thing I want to talk. Oh, Wetchen. I want to talk to you is how to tackle the. Oh my God! I just had it in my head. Like the dual running back, like a Jalen Warren and a Rico Dowdle, Jonathan Brooks and a Chuba Hubbard. How would you tackle that? I want to get that into the next show.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, the next show, while we're doing the mock drafts and talking about our picks, we'll break that down. We'll break down how
that's going to come into the top of the conversation because you're going to be later on in the round and you're going to be like, do I take this guy or this guy?
Exactly. All right, well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolutely amazing time. I cannot wait to keep doing these shows more and more for the next couple of weeks before football season officially begins. I cannot wait to see everyone's teams that they've drafted so we can talk about them, like where'd you go right, where'd you go wrong, what I would have changed, what I wouldn't have changed. And like, share, subscribe, put the video on your Instagram. Make sure that people watch it. We got up to, I think, 8 or 9 live viewers today.
Yeah, 10.
I want to
10.
Yeah. Oh, you saw 10? All right. So you got 10. So I want to get that up as high as possible. So more people who come and join and watch the show, the better. Tell your friends, as Mr. Carton used to say.
Yep.
So, but thank you so much, everyone.
Have a safe weekend. We will talk to you on Tuesday. Ange, congrats on winning the bonus bet. At the beginning of the show, DM me in the Discord or whatever. I'll get it in. I'll put the parlay or whatever you want to do. I'll put that in. Stick it in, Hermie, and then we'll get it going. Next bonus bet is going to be on Tuesday, and then the final one will be next Thursday.
Cool.
And then we'll go from there. We're off and running now, bro. This is it.
Yep, this is it. This was the first, get your feet wet. Let's talk a little bit, here and there. Next week is where we, after a full weekend of talking about it, and where are you going?
I said to do the mock draft naked. I was preparing for the next show.
We're not mock drafting, though. That's going to be Tuesday.
Getting ready for it now.
So, all right, whatever. See you guys later. See you guys on Tuesday.
Have a safe weekend. See you.